This is the scrap wood that I milled up for the drawers. I did that off camera because we've already shown a lot of milling in this build. And my first step is going to be ripping the sides down, and I made a template here that will match the drawers. Now of course there's a little bit of deviation between the drawers. I'll fit them individually later.
Nomad makes.
So I'll be cutting the fronts to size before I cut the sides to size, because the fronts and the backs are wider. That way if I screw up, then I still have wood to go. I'll set up my stop block here, referencing off the mock-up I made. So that's all the parts cut. These are the parts for the upper drawer and these are for the lower drawers. So the next thing will be to do fine adjustments with a hand plane. And then we're ready to lay out the dovetails and hand cut the dovetails. So this is the mock-up that I made. That's no longer a mock-up. Here you can see the dovetailed fronts, and this is the idea for the fake front. So basically I'll be making like a huge veneer almost for the front that has a backer, and it will be glued or screwed to the front of the door. I haven't decided yet. So something like this. So let's start with the sides of the upper drawer. The left side here, it's a tiniest bit loose, but that's okay because it's winter now. That means it's very dry here, so I'm expecting this side to expand a little bit. But the other side, it doesn't fit, so let's give that a couple of swipes with the hand plane. Tiniest bit of slope, so that's perfect since it's winter now. So I'm using both a 0.5 and a 0.7 mechanical pencil. The 0.5 I only use for things that are markings that I actually need a 0.5 hole to go through, like certain accuracy tools. For this I prefer the 0.7 because it doesn't break that easy. You see here the distance between this pin and this here line, that will be the size of my pins here. Oh, that's wrong. This is the one. I got a couple of these Bahco squares laying around. I find them really handy for the workshop. This is a different precision square I bought. Something I got off AliExpress. It's actually quite nice because it hooks so well over the edge here. That's complete overkill for woodworking. DIN certified square. That being said, I mean, it's not really woodworking I kind of tend to use it for. I use it more to check my machines and stuff. And then it's really nice, the fact that it's super accurate, you know. Check this out, the way it like hooks around there. It's very good. So this is my 1 to 6 or 9.5 degree dovetail guide. Dude, come on! Get out of there. So since this is the back, I'm just going to stop here. I mean, this is the back side. I'm just going to stop here, and all of this here will be taken away. Just like this. Instead of making, you know, a different pattern going with different sizes from the top to the bottom here, I just cut it off there on the mock-up here, and I'm going to do the same thing on the rest of the drawers. Like so. Alright, here we are ready to start cutting the dovetails. I'm starting with pins, and the tools I'll be using now is this Kyokuchi Dozuki. It's a razor saw, the S209. I don't know if you can tell. This, in my opinion, is one of the best value for money tools you can get. And then I have a normal pull saw, which is also, this is a Kyokuchi These are cheap. It's a S206. No, a S605 is it? Here. It's not deep enough, that one. Could have been a little bit more aggressive here. I forgot to make knife walls on the edges here. Quickly do that. It's one of the few sharp chisels I have left. I need to get back to sharpening, and possibly get into that good habit of stropping the chisels after I've used them. There we have it, our knife walls. Now it's time for the small razor saw. I really love this saw, it's fantastic. It's like certain tools overperform with regards to their price, and that is one of the few tools that does that. All right. So I brought over a file and some smaller files. And you know, to finesse these, I actually like using files. I wish I had a rasp for this task, a bowed rasp like this, but I don't. So we just have to make do with what we've got. That's a fantastic sound. This is quite a lot. I want to use a chisel for that. It's my little pocket knife. Use it for marking and just about everything. It's especially useful for stuff like this, getting into small corners. This is the Paul Sellers knife, I think. Like at least the one he uses a lot. I recently started making and selling my own hide glue, Nomad hide glue. Nomad hide glue is a traditional liquid hide glue with extended open time. But why would you want to use Nomad hide glue instead of normal wood glue or PVA? Nomad hide glue is reversible with moisture and heat, so you can break open joints if you need to make repairs or you've made mistakes. It has a long open time of 30 minutes or more in 23 degrees Celsius or 74 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temperature, which makes it a great natural alternative to epoxy if you want more open time. It lubricates tight-fitting joints really well. It is organic, non-toxic and made from only natural materials. Be aware that Nomad hide glue needs to be heated in a glue pot, wax pot or double boiler before use. So if you want to try out Nomad hide glue, check out the links below, and I really appreciate the support, guys. So if you notice, this side has a larger cutout here. This is to allow for the bottom to go underneath, like you can see here. So that's my solution to it. Yours may differ. Probably does. So yeah. Perfect. It's a dreadful sound. Yep. So that's one side. Look, I am Nomad makes. So one more to go for the upper drawer. Let's use the actual workpiece then. So I brought out my marking wheel again, and I'm using the same distance here as I used for the sides. For the back we're going to do it a little bit different. Why am I doing it on both sides? Okay, so first of all, because I need to see it from the back and I'm filming from the front so that you can see it. And I also find it easier to have it on both sides. Yeah. We want to make the drawer a tiniest bit trapeze shaped. So like the back we want to go a little bit in. And this is to ease the door being pushed in so the door doesn't rack. Because of this, I'm going to go a little bit deeper here. I'm adjusting the wheel so I get a little bit more, I can feel a little bit more of a lip on the cutting wheel. Not as much as a millimeter, but maybe half. So this is what I rigged up to be able to mark this. So I'm on a different marking knife again. So you can see this one has a normal knife blade. That means that the knife kind of travels both ways when it hits the grain. This one is like a tanto. It's only beveled one way. That means that it will only push one way towards whatever you're marking. So as you can tell, this one is different. It's this part here. So this is the back, and I'll sit like this. And then I'll rip down part of the back to allow for the bottom to slide in there. So this is a little bit different than the front. You can see that will have another pin here. So it needs a little bit of adjustment. Wow, now I need to adjust it here. Perfect. This is the right side of the front of the drawers. So these are the sides. This is the back. I love the sound this all makes. It's a little bit on the safe side. Take too much and we get gappy joints. Too little. Well, it's a lot of work cleaning it up. Wow, cut that with the rip side. With the crosscut side of the saw, it's better, or it's finer. You know, it's not that rough. These here saws, it's a razor saw, the Gyokuchi or S206. This is such a fantastic value. I mean, they're cheap saws, but they're really, really good. I really like using them. Why am I doing this by hand? I haven't talked about that probably. You know, I'm only doing 4 drawers, right? If I was doing 40 drawers, then of course, like say I'm building a apothecary cabinet or something like that, you know, then I'd find a power tool way of doing this. But when I'm doing 4 drawers, I mean, whatever, I enjoy this. I got a tip by a friend of mine. His name is Vidar and he writes this blog. And he suggested doing an undercut using a chisel here. So I'm going to try this with this side and see if that's easier for me or not easier, but if I get a better fit doing it like that. See if you can see anything while I'm doing this. Trying to stay 1 millimeter away from the line now. A little bit of headroom. I have a lathe. Why haven't I made a proper mallet? Let's just say that's on the to-do list once this stereo bench is out of the shop. Trying to stay a millimeter away from the line again, away from my knife wall there. ¿Qué pasa acá? Did the whole thing break off? Well, seems like that. it is. Apart from the setup time, I think I prefer this, you know, compared to the coping saw and file method. I mean, that works as well, of course, but let's just see. It's a little bit tight here, it's a little bit tight here, and it's a little bit tight there. I'll do that with the file, because I kind of like that method, and then we try continuing with undercuts here afterwards. So we now need to creep up on this line here. Which chisel am I using? 20mm. That's fairly sharp. It is fairly sharp. Pare our way in here a little bit with trying to maintain that undercut. That means that I'm angling the cut this way instead of this way. And I'm trying to stop kind of not very much past the middle. And these Luna chisels here, I mean, they are just normal carpenter's chisels. So I mean, you can get a lot of woodworking and hand tool woodworking done without going all Japanese steel. This is supposed to be Japanese, but I don't know. I got it for AliExpress. I don't know. I just bought this one. It's a 3/4 inch 19mm to test it out. I haven't gotten around to sharpening it, so it's not going to do us any good here on end grain pine. Yeah, about this chisel, the Japanese one or the Chinese Japanese, it says made in Japan, so I guess it is. But when I've sharpened it and tried it out, so maybe I'll talk a little bit about it. Wow, it's a lot of compression here in the fibers. You tell? So I don't know how much of a success this is. Let's see. Well, it closes perfectly in the front at least. So it closes perfectly here in the front. course I have to, you know, fit the bottom for it, and I mean cut a groove for the bottom. But let's go over to the bench here and see if it fits. Alright, so let's see. It's a little bit tight on this side, but you know that can be fixed with hand planes now. We don't need to make the joinery any tighter. Yeah, needs a little bit work with hand planes on the sides probably there. But yeah, I think that's perfect. Of course I can't push on the side of this now probably, because the drawer isn't square. I need to make a bottom for it. But check this out. Ah, yeah. A little tight on the end, we'll fix that later. This is so nice. I really like this. Yep. But again, that is it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to leave a thumbs up. If you aren't already, please consider subscribing. Should you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon, or you can make a purchase on my webpage. You'll find a link for that and affiliate links to products I use and recommend below. And of course, you'll find links for my Nomad hide glue there as well. Cheers, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.